evening, everyone. Today we are here to discuss about STEAM education. So we have our lecturer Miss Sachita Swal from Nepal. So she's going to help us on STEAM education for the day. So I would like to call upon ma'am to start the session. Welcome, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And good evening, everyone, and namaste from Nepal. So I can see that we have 35 participants right now. So the time is already 8 o'clock. It is like 3 minutes past 8. So hope others will join us soon. So we are starting from today. I think Janaka sir has shared the schedule with you. If not, I'll be sharing with you what we are going to do in these series of sessions, right? So today is our first day. So we'll be talking more about STEM first, and then move on to STEAM. So before I start anything, we will, for a few minutes before the other people join us, we will be discussing, like kind of interacting with each other about STEM and STEAM education. So, since you are here, and I think some of you have heard about STEM and STEAM education, but some of you are new to this, like approach. So I think, let's start. If anyone can just briefly tell me what you understand by STEM. Anyone can just one sentence or two sentences, if you can, like just tell me what you understand by this. Have you
Yeah,
ever
I
heard
think,
before? Yes, ma'am.
yeah. Can I say the
Yes,
full format of what STEM stands for?
yes,
It
of course, ma'am.
means science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Yes,
And
very good.
I think we are
Yes,
heading towards STEAM, and there's an addition of A, which means arts.
yes. That's
Okay.
that's correct, ma'am. So STEM and STEAM, like STEM is still there, and then we have moved on with moved on to STEAM. So adding A, that is A, which we put inside inverted commas as arts. Okay, so why arts play an important role in STEM education? We'll discuss that later on. So have you ever thought, that you have been incorporating STEAM in your daily life, in your education, while you are teaching, or while you are learning, or while you are doing something, working your skills and knowledge? Do you think that you are integrating STEAM in your daily life? Anyone can say, even if it's wrong, it's okay.
Yes,
Just
ma'am. Yes.
yes,
Yes.
please. Joy of Learning. This is school's name, ma'am?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So may I have your name, please?
I'm Vatsala.
Okay, Vatsala, ma'am. So you can please share.
Yeah, actually, when it comes to science, like basically, like we are, like although we don't know, like we see the plants and everything, we introduce that to the children when we are working with. So science is there. And when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to technology, maybe uh, like we are a little bit lacking, like with the kids, I mean.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to engineering, same thing, like basically like when they're working with the materials, uh,
Mm-hmm.
there are certain materials we use with the basic engineering in school. And when come to
Mm-hmm.
maths, of course, like it's introduced.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. Yes. Very well said, ma'am. Yeah. Whatever we, in our daily life, we are mostly using all, no, if not all, I would say some, say for example, science or technology. Like we are using that, or arts.
I'm sorry, can't hear you.
I think something went.
Sorry, we can't hear you, ma'am.
I think can't hear.
It's not clear.
Ma'am, we can't hear you, ma'am.
I think we all are having the same problem.
Excuse me, ma'am. We can hear you.
Ma'am, we can't hear your voice.
Ma'am, we can't hear you, ma'am.
Sheha, are you there? Sheha?
Yes, I told sir. He will check.
Yeah, if you can inform to Sachita also
Yeah. I
regarding the
informed.
sound.
I sent her a message.
Teachers, I have informed ma'am, so she'll try to do maybe a network issue. So let's wait for some time.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, ma'am. Now
Yeah,
okay.
ma'am.
Okay. I'll then what I'll do is that I will not use my video for now, because sometimes when we have the video, like the internet may be not like supporting. Okay, so I'll just put off my video and I'll
Yeah.
only speak. Okay. Okay. Thank you very
Okay, ma'am.
much. Okay. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, ma'am.
Thank you for your patience. Sometimes it happens because it is said that technology is not 100%, it does not support us fully. Okay, so talking about STEM. So you mentioned that in STEM is science, math, engineering, and mathematics. Now I'll talk a little bit about the history of STEM and what happened. I won't say exactly history, but what it is, and then why STEM is used, like and integrated in our education system. Okay, so STEM is STEM education. Like it aims to prepare elementary and secondary students for their careers in science, technology, engineering, and maths, as someone said just now, and as well as for the post secondary education. So this will help student, move ahead, and then let them prepare in their education in all these four sectors. And it's not only about the subject. Okay, it is about the specific education that STEM seeks to develop critical thinking. Now, like when we talk about 21st century skill, so are we being critical thinkers? We always have to think about the students who we want them to develop as critical thinkers. They are not only thinkers, but they should be critical thinkers. And will they be able to reason, like things that they learn? So reasoning is another very important thing in their life. And then teamwork abilities. So being a critical thinker and then trying to solve things in the same manner, and will they be working in a team? So collaboration, like working collaboratively. So STEM aims to, okay, someone is, can you please mute your microphones, please? Okay, so if someone is thinking very critically and then working together in a group, so they need to work very collaboratively. So STEM always want students to work in a collaborative manner, being a critical thinker, reasoning out their thinking and the way they solve the problems. So STEM always aims students, and it prepares the student for their further career in their life. And then when we talk about like a history of STEM, and the main objective of STEM programs, it is to boost like innovation. Now, okay, we when we think about ourselves, like, are we innovators? Are we thinking new, something new? Are we thinking to develop something? So when we talk about project based learning, so like when we talk about our projects, new projects, like, are we innovating something? Are we creating something? Are we using the skills and knowledge that we have for the present, the modern world, we say? So are we thinking in the same manner or not? And not only that, we need to expand the pool of skilled high-tech labor in the market. So this started with the United States, actually. They were trying, the students were helped with the STEM, that they are developing and they are producing skilled high-tech labor in the market, and then enhance the nation's standing as a worldwide competitor. So the students now in the 21st century should be able to come out as a competitor. They should be competing with others. They should be innovators, and they should be helping with the economic growth of the country. And after there, after 2000, after the early 2000, STEM became more and more important, so that like students can learn like in a different way, being an innovator and problem solvers, and started to think as very critically in their education. So by the time it is 2005, one of the report published said that rising above the gathering storm. I don't know how many of you have heard this. By the they were called those who are doing STEM. They were called like rising above the gathering storm. So they are the people, they are the students, even though there is, like there is a storm, but they are rising above it. So this has been recognized by this has been said by the National Academics of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine. And the value of jobs in science and technology for promoting innovation, as I said earlier, and solving societal issue. Solving problems means it can they should be able to, and also one more thing I want to add is that if you are in living in a modern world, and you should be thinking very modernly, because you should be solving the problems in a very modern way. The problem comes and you should be thinking in a very modern way. Simple example I can give of COVID-19. If you have noticed that, like when COVID was here, and everyone was so worried, and everyone was so worried about health, and there was no vaccination. But within 6 months, I think, 6 or 7 months, I think we had vaccination. So if the problem arises, like in this present world, now we should be able to think very, very quickly, and we should be able to solve the problem very quickly. So using science and technology, like, and promoting innovation, solving societal issues, and like preserving the health and wealth of people. So the United States is National Academics of Science and Engineering and Medicine, like in the 2005 report said that it is the STEM is rising above the gathering storm. Okay. And when we talk about, like a STEM program, are you clear what I've said just now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you're not clear, you can just raise your hand and then ask question. You can interrupt me because, like, you are most welcome to do that, but you have to raise your hand so that, like, many people are not speaking at the same time. So while we talk about STEM in this manner, like the United States Maryland State Department of Education in 2012, it mentioned about 7 standards of practice or skills that is required in a STEAM program, and that included in the definition of STEM issued. So these 7, like skills, practice of skills are learn and apply. Like you have to learn and immediately you have to apply the content. Otherwise, like you are not going to work as a very as an innovator. So not only that, you should be able to integrate content. Now you learn something, you learn the skill, and you have the knowledge, and you should be able to integrate that immediately, and also to interpret and communicate information. Okay, you have some problem with you have some like solving issues, you are solving the issue, and you should be able to interpret that. So that interpretation skill has to be there. And of course, you need to communicate the information. So whatever information you have, you should be able to communicate immediately. And you should be engaged in inquiry, like so we call this inquire based learning. So you should be able to ask. You should be, if you are not clear about something, you should be able to inquire, like, and get yourself engaged in that. And of course, at the same time, you should be reasoning out very logically. So what are the logics that you use in this? So am I being engaged using the logic in reasoning out things that I am working on? So another one is reasoning. And then sixth one is collaborate. Now, without, you cannot work alone. You need to collaborate as a team. So teamwork is very, very important. So if you are working in a team, then you'll be able to solve the problem very quickly. And the collaboration is very important, and then work in a team. And whatever you have created, collaborating something with your skills and knowledge, and you should be able to apply that technology appropriately. So we are we using that technology or not? So until and unless you are confident with that, working in a team, that you should be able to develop something and then apply the technology very appropriately. So these are the 7 standards of practice and skills that are required in a STEM program. So then only you'll be able to integrate all the your skills and your learnings and your knowledge, and then being a critical thinker and reasoning out, being a critical thinker in your everyday life. So it talks about the 7 standards, right? Now, what is the importance of STEM? Why it is so important? Okay.
Um,
Now, when we
Ma'am,
yes,
before we move on, can you repeat the 7, please?
seventh
Again,
one. The
just the
seventh one,
7.
yeah. The seventh one is, now you have learned something, you have applied that, yes, and you have integrated that your content, you have interpreted, you have communicated. The third one, and then you have engaged in inquiry. As I mentioned, said, your learning should be inquiry based. You should always inquire something, and then you get engaged in logical reasoning. So logical reasoning is very important. It's not only reasoning things, but you should have some logic in that. So this is the fifth one. And the sixth one is collaborate as a team. So you need to work in a team. You cannot work alone and say that, oh, this is my skill and this is my knowledge. So you should be able to share your knowledge and skill with others. So work in a team, collaborate in a team, and finally you apply the technology that you have used or you have innovated. So you use your technology very, very appropriately. So these are the last one is apply technology appropriately. So these are the 7 standards of practice and skills of STEM. Are you clear, ma'am?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. And then when we move on with the STEM part, with the importance of STEM. Why it is so important? Because STEM fields, like science, technology, engineering, maths, in higher education develop critical thinking skills. So we mentioned about this. Critical thinking is very important in this 20, because critical thinking is called critical thinking and problem solving. These two are called the 21st century skill. So we need to have develop ourselves the critical thinking skills, and we should be very ready with our career, like, okay, tomorrow after my education, what am I going to do? What will I be doing in future? So I should be very career oriented, and the ability to collaborate across scientific disciplines. So I should, whatever knowledge I have, whatever skills I have, I should be able to collaborate across in in a scientific way, as a scientific disciplines, to tackle complex challenges. Means now you are trying to solve the problems and take up the challenges that you come across. So this is very important in STEM. That is why STEM is very important for us. And STEM integrates several academic fields, and teachers, students need to know how to apply their knowledge from other fields to solve issues. Now, for example, say that, okay, I am very interested in science, but I do not know what kind of technology I need in order to do that. For example, say I am doing a project work, and then suddenly I am working on science, but since I lack technology part, so how am I going to do that? So it has to link with science, the technology, and then engineering part, and of course mathematical part. So all these four, the components is very important, are very important when I am integrating each. Not necessary that you have to have all these four at once, not necessary. So science, if you're doing some science work, project work, then you can have technology. Or if you're using technology there, and then of course I can have engineering part, and then engineering math, or math with science. So even when we teach in classrooms, we integrate all these the approaches, and then uh, use the components in our project based work. And we teach students, like they have the skills and their knowledge, and we teach them how to integrate these in our, even while teaching I do that. I don't know how many of you do that. So I, like even now in Nepal, and if I talk about Nepal, government has like developed integrated curriculum. So in that integrated curriculum, like for the primary section, so we have like science, math, Nepali, and English. uh, and then of course the social part. So we are like integrating science in social studies, or say if we are integrating language in maths, or we are integrating like in science. So you can always have like uh, two parts integrated. It's not necessary that you should be integrating all the subjects in one, not necessary to do that. So you can always create a kind of lessons for the students to understand the integrating STEM or STEAM in their daily life. And then if they can apply their knowledge from other fields, and they can easily solve the problems, solve the issues. So when you look at the STEM courses, like it encourage learning by doing. Now, this is very important. What do you understand by learning by doing? Until and unless, yeah, I have hands-on activities, I have, like I have to do that. I have to touch that. I have to use that. I have to, that's why we say hands-on activities. So I have to have like something in front of me, and then I am learning by doing it. I'm not just going to sit there and I'm just going to observe that. If you only observe, it's not going to work. So you have to learn by doing. So STEM courses encourage learning by doing. And students work on real world projects. It's not a project that you develop just out of nothing, but in the real world scenario. So these are the things, and like for example, say you are teaching children kitchen garden, for example. Now when you teach children the kitchen gardening in the backyard, in the school, in your school, or in your house also, you can teach your child. So what do you teach them? So there are so many things that like, if you, what do you have to do? You need to have soil, you need to have water them, you need to have plants, you need to have seeds. So there are so many things you can incorporate, and then you can always tell them how to do that. Some of the seeds you just sprinkle on the soil, or some of the seeds you have to like insert inside the soil. So that is, these are the skills that you teach them. So you are using science as well as technology. And in some parts of like, I know, I don't know how many of you watch videos about like these vegetables being not necessary that you need to have soil. So sometimes you can see that like these vegetables are being planted in water only. So you can have very green vegetables. So this is a technology they are using. Especially I watch these videos from China. So China, they're using the green plants, green vegetables in what they're planting in water, and then after few weeks, you can see a leafy vegetable. So this is a technology they're using, only using water. So not necessary to have a soil. So you can see the technology part is there. And then certainly, of course, yes, there is engineering part also, and maths. So how many days it will take? If you plant something, how many days it will take? You count that. So the days, the hours, the years that you count becomes your mathematics. So how many, like you can plant like the the green vegetables in that one slot. So these are the mathematics that you are using it. So all these come in your, like when you are teaching, doing some project work. So it can be your kitchen gardening, it can be your science lab, it can be your like teaching mathematics to children, it can be teaching your child science. So all these can be integrated at one time. So this is how we teach children, and the students will learn from by doing it. So they need to be given and they need to work on real world projects, and that have real world implications. So what are the implications that they can have? It's not that, like, oh, real world projects, I'm doing it, and suddenly something turns out to be, and then, like, you cannot call it in real world implications. So implications also have to be real world. So whatever the product is, if I'm doing project based work, so what will be the ultimate work? Simple example, another example I can give you is the waste management. Like, we are having so much of waste in the world. You can have degradable waste. You can, for example, say plastics. If we talk about plastics, like, we cannot destroy plastics. So what are the solutions that you are using to use these plastic bags and plastic bottles? So what are the, I watch sometimes, and then I can see the people are using these plastic bottles or plastics in while making a road, so in like walls or a house. So see how they are using science there. Science is already there, and they're using the technology part and the plastics, like, if you can use it, crush them into small pieces, and then you can use them in while you make a road, construction of road. And then, of course, engineers have to be there because they need to calculate and how it works and how durable it will be for a in a lifetime. And of course, maths, because you need to have the calculations, who is going to work, how many people you need, so how long it will take. So all these calculations are done through maths. So it's so easy. You can always give your child, your students in the classroom, and talk about STEM, importance of STEM. So this is integration of like, and then the four science, technology, engineering, maths, by, and then let them do it, let them work on it, until and unless you work on, you let them work, and you let them touch, you let them like, think as critical thinkers, and help them to reason out things and then solve the problem. We cannot, otherwise it'll be waste of time, like using STEM. If you can give them something they can develop themselves, then it will really work. And of course, they will think in a very different way, in a very innovative way. And children are very smart nowadays. It's not that, like, when we were in school, they can easily like, think of a solution within a very short time, and then they can create something. So now, while talking about STEM, the like, the United States, that felt that, though they have science, technology, engineering, maths, they felt that something is missing, something is not there, something is not being appropriate. So, after lots of researchers, they came with a solution that something is A, that is arts. So then after that, arts is introduced. So for example, say, after arts is introduced, like, lots of things have changed. So simple example I can give is like, when you are constructing a road, or you are building a bridge, or you're building a house. So the design, you have science, everything, all the STEM part is there. And then if you can insert, or if you can integrate arts there inside that STEM, then you can create a lovely house, or you can build a strong bridge, or you can create a new kind of, like, construction of a road. So arts have made, like, look this STEM education more creative, more aesthetic, more lovely, like. So then, after they introduced A in STEM, and then it became, everything became so lovely, everything was changing so quickly. So so STEAM education, in STEM education, A was introduced like this. So United States was doing very good economically, but the people there still felt something, the missing part, And then after A was introduced and the economy was growing, because there were lots of things they can create, and lots of things was introduced, like in every field, not only in one, but in every field. Like they had different innovations. So this innovation has a very big role. And you can see, for example, I can talk about is the phone, the iPhone we talk about. No, so I think most of you would love to have iPhone. So we always look for latest iPhone. So why iPhone? Because most I hear many people say that it has like it is a kind of a creative work of people who work in iPhone, and then it has lots of features. It is this and it is that, like so many things are being described. It is more handy, it is easy to carry. It looks nice, it looks lovely. Lots of features are there. So what is that? This means that, okay, something has been created with all the facilities, with all the STEM part, science, technology, engineering, maths is there. But while carrying iPhone, that I feel so good, because it is very handy. It is very easy to use it. So arts has been introduced there. This is, I'm just giving an example, okay? So there are lots of things that you can talk about. Okay, so when we now after STEM, when we come to STEAM, so why STEAM education? STEAM education equip students with 21st century knowledge and skills, because A had been added there. Because and the world needs successful innovators. We are not only looking for innovators, but we are looking for successful innovators in every field, in technology field, in engineering field, in science and in maths. We look for innovators, and that is also very successful innovators. We can never forget Steve Jobs in Apple company. Why? Because of his innovation. We always talk about Steve Jobs. There are so many people working in like Apple company, but we always remember Steve Jobs because of his innovation. Okay. uh, okay, even if you talk about like movies, why this A is so important, because they create like the cinematic cinematography we say. So you can watch so many things happening. Okay, so we are looking for, in this present world, we are looking for successful innovators. And these successful innovators as a workforce for 21st century skill. So STEAM is there: science, technology, engineering, arts, and maths. So all these five subjects or components, whatever you want to call, has been used as an integrate, a very integral part, and of course as an integrated in our education system. So this is how A has been introduced in United States. So the US Department, why STEAM's education is so important now? So the US Department of Education has said, I've read it and I've put it here, in an ever-changing, increasingly complex world. We all know that. I think you have also heard about AI, artificial intelligence. Yes, you can create so many things nowadays. So it says, in an ever-changing, increasingly complex world, it's more important than ever that our nation's youth are prepared to bring knowledge and skills to solve problems, make sense of information, and know how to gather and evaluate evidence to make decisions, which is very true. And the world is changing so fast, and it is becoming very complex. Everywhere is complex. You can see that in education is also is complex, in health field is also complex, because there are lots of diseases coming up, and then trying to solve like a create like and the scientists are trying to find solutions for many the cures for many diseases. So everywhere you need some kind of innovation, and it is very important for the nation's youth. And we always target youth because they are the ones who need to have and we need to prepare students who are knowledgeable and who are skillful to solve problems. And we teachers should be ready to produce students who are very knowledgeable and skillful and are critical thinkers to solve problems. And they use the sense of information, and of course they need to gather and evaluate the evidence to make decisions. So they are the one who make decisions, and then the youths are going to do that if we prepare them as 21st century skilled and knowledgeable students. Yes. Okay. Are you clear? if if you're not
Yes,
clear,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
okay, I think I can see someone raising hand. Anjali Fernando. Is Anjali or Anjali Fernando?
Anjali.
Okay. You want to ask, say
Ma'am,
something?
yes.
Okay.
Ma'am, just one question.
Yes.
Can you give an example as to how AI can be used in a classroom setting?
Mm-hmm. AI. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll, I'll talk about AI a little later. Okay. Is that okay, ma'am?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I'll
It's
talk about
fine.
AI, which is very interesting. Yes, very interesting question. And I would love to talk about AI. So, how we are going to do that, I'll talk about it. But a little later, let's understand a little bit about STEAM and then we'll move on to later. Then maybe in next session. Okay, ma'am? Just remind me because I won't forget AI, but still it is because it is the upcoming very challenging and very innovative way of like creating something. So AI is everywhere nowadays. I won't forget, but if even if I forget, just remind me, okay? Now, okay, let's talk about STEAM a little bit because we need to understand STEAM and then how we are going to integrate this STEAM in our daily education. So STEAM education seeks to, like bring out children's curiosity and cultivate a lifetime love of the arts and sciences from a very early. For example, say, I think there are many early childhood educators here, teachers here. So we are integrating, we are using arts in early childhood. So it is important that we start from very early age if they understand arts in their education. Okay. And they can later on, because children are always curious, like they want to learn new things. They never want to do one thing at a time. They have lots of ideas, lots of creativity. So their curiosity and should be brought out. And as teachers, because I also work in early childhood development, so I always make sure that the children learn new things. Okay, and I'll just share some of my work in later sessions, how I use these the arts in my classroom. Okay, and yes, and then because children always love art, children always want to create something, children always want to do different things. So we have to start this from very early age. And studying arts, the science, technology, engineering, maths, all involve creative process. Now this is a creation. They create something. It's a process of creation. And it doesn't only solely like rely on one approach of inquiry analysis. That's why children ask so many questions. For example, say we know that early childhood educators, and by the age of 3, like children's brain develops so much by 80% to 90%, and they want to ask so many things. Their curiosity is so high, and they want to learn so many things, and they ask question one after the other. If you answer one thing, they'll ask another question, and then again they link that to another question, and we should be ready to answer them. And so their inquiry is so high, they inquire a lot, and of course their analysis should be clarified. So it is very critical to teach children's current in demand skills. What do they want? So what is in demand? Why are they wanting that? So if like we are thinking of their critical thinkers as critical thinkers, and their in demand skills, and which will help them or enable them to become innovators. Then only they can be innovators in a world that is always changing. So it is what today one thing is happening, tomorrow another thing happens. So it is changing so fast. So it is not only for the students, it is also for teachers also. It's very challenging. Our job is very challenging, because if the student asks something and you are not aware of that, or you are not knowledgeable about that, you have to be prepared. You should be able to answer that. So, and in this changing world, that it is very important that for both the students' own future and the future of the nation. It's not only about the students, it's about the nation's future. So we see in a country, why United States is always ahead in technology. So they are thinking very critically. They are producing students who can think critically, who can solve problems very quickly, and who reason out things, who work as innovators. So they are the innovators. So whenever we think about technology, we always, in our mind, we always think of United States. Okay. And then in STEAM, we should be utilizing project based learning. It is not going to work if you are just going to give them lecture based learning. You have to give project based learning. So they have to have project based learning. They should be given projects. Until unless you give them project based learning or the project based work, it is not going to work. And that spans all five disciplines, the disciplines of STEAM. If you if you are asking them for the project based learning, and then incorporating all these five disciplines of STEAM, and then only they'll be enabled, and that also enables educators to create inclusive learning. So how are you going to talk about inclusive learning? So when we talk about inclusive, it is the demand now. You have to have inclusive learning. It means you have to have all these five disciplines in their learning. So you should include all these learnings. And so inclusive learning environments where all students can participate in. It's not about one child, it's not about two children. So you have to make sure that all the students are participating and learning at the same time. So let's not forget that, okay, only smart children will learn. No, others can also equally learn. Only thing is that you have to show them their potentiality. You have to make sure that all these children are included in the classroom, so that they are learning in the same manner equally. So we should not separate, we should not exclude children, thinking that, oh, this child cannot learn properly, this child cannot be included. So create an inclusive learning environment, so each and every child can participate and learn at the same time. So, and that is a challenge, of course. If you are not going to do that, and then that makes a lot of difference. So whenever, it is not about early childhood only, it is for all the children, in the college, not only in school, even in the college, make sure that they are participating and they are learning, and they are becoming the innovators, and then creating something for the present world. Do you have any question up to here? Do you have any question?
No, thank you.
If or you want to share something, when, yeah, okay, we have 5 minutes to discuss about. Now, I don't want to talk all the time, because it will be very lecture based. So tomorrow I'll be sharing some of the ideas also, and how the education system works if you are using STEAM in our education. So if anyone wants to share about, whether you are using STEAM, being aware, sometimes, sometimes we are not aware that we are using STEAM. So is there anyone who wants to share something, or you are curious to know, like how you're going to do it? You can share. Yes, on Anjali, ma'am.
I just want to know this integrating STEAM concept. Can is there like a minimum age limit that we could do it, or I mean, can it be done even in a classroom where kids are as small as 1.5 to 2?
No, you can do it, ma'am. But they are so small. 1.5 years is very small. But you have to, create a kind of activity which have all these five disciplines. For example, say you are dealing with very small children, right? So you can always make them, you can use. For example, say if you are making them write something, okay, draw something. Okay, so how are you going to do that? If the child is very small, like say they are very small, 1.5 years is very small, so they are not able to like hold the pen. So you can always use their hands or their feet, and then give them some color, and then make them uh, draw something with their palm or with their feet. So it's not necessary that you have to use pens and crayons or color pencil or paintbrush, not necessarily. So you can do that, or you can use some mathematical or you can use say boxes. You can use balls, you can use colorful balls, and then create shapes, or like talk about the colors and then play with them. There are so many ways to do that, so which will be we will be discussing in the later sessions. So there are different ways to make them learn, and then as an educator, as a teacher, you should be able to create a kind of activity for them. So age wise is also, you can do it with small children also, but in a little different way.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, but you need to try. Until and unless you try, it is not going to work. Yes, anyone who would like to, we are 50 people here, 51 people. So anyone who have you understood what we discussed today, the STEM part and the STEAM part, how the STEM became STEAM, sorry. So art has a lot to do with in STEM. Art means you are creating something. You had a, for example, say you are teaching in the same manner every day in the classroom. You do the same activity, and for a teacher it is also very boring, like you are teaching the same thing, same curriculum all the time. It's quite boring. So there's no hard and fast rule that you don't like add something to your curriculum. You can always have something in your curriculum based on the government's curriculum. You can change, or you can add few things that make the classroom very interesting. I do that. I don't know how many of you do that. So there are lots of things that we can do nowadays. You can start from the greetings, like when the children come to your classroom, before they enter the classroom, you can start with the greetings, how you greet the child or children. That is also arts. The way you talk, that is also arts. The way you smile, that is also art. Yes. And the way you behave, that is also art. So everything is linked with art. Art doesn't mean that always using color pencil and paintbrush. So the way you have everything in your daily life, your behavior, your language, your there are so many things that you can create on your own, and all these arts. Yes, isn't that so? If you don't agree, you can tell me you don't agree. That is also acceptable.
Yes, ma'am, that is also arts. We feel it.
Yes, we
That
feel it.
we feel the changes when we have taught them the differences of greeting them in a very special manner. introducing them to the class in a special welcome note. So they
Yes,
become very active that day. Students tend to have a very active day then.
yes, yeah, yes, Afsha ma'am. Because the way you once you bring innovation, once you bring now something new, something creative, that becomes art. Even while teaching, like, okay, after like this sessions, maybe you want to change your way of your your pedagogy, I would say, the way you teach. Okay, so I had been teaching for example, say 10 years or 20 years in the same boring manner. So suddenly you're in something clicks in your mind. Okay, now I think I have to stop the way I teach. So why not teach in such a way that children love to be in my class, children enjoy my class, children always wants to come to school, they want to come to school most of the time. So you should make children be in the classroom, enjoy the classroom, their classroom, enjoy with being with the teacher. So like that is the essence of like having lots of things doing like activities in the classroom, not but not teaching in the same old manner. So we just need to like be creative. As teachers also we need to be creative. Yes, so you can start from tomorrow when you go to school or college. You just talk with the children for 5 minutes, communicate with them. You can start, oh, you are looking so beautiful today, you're looking so handsome. Okay, okay, what did you eat in the morning? Like, are you full? So who cooks your breakfast, or who cooks your, sorry, who makes your breakfast, who cooks your food, who like ironed your dress, like small things that matter. These small things always make children very happy, and they feel that, oh, the ma'am has recognized or realized that I have changed my hairstyle, I have changed the way I talk, I have changed the way I behave. So all these arts, including in STEAM, so you can always incorporate, integrate in your classroom, and that makes a lot of difference. So you just mark my words, once you start doing this, like, your children starts loving you and wants to be in your class from next day onwards. Yeah, so we'll be discussing more on STEAM tomorrow, and then I'll talk a little bit about education. So we are having 1 hour session every day. So tomorrow we are starting at 9. If you say that you want to start at 8, that's okay. But you have to tell Janaka sir about the time, because in the schedule I've mentioned from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. If it is too late for you, we can always join at 8. Yeah. Anyone? Someone said prefer 9. Someone said prefer 8. Okay. So let's stick to our routine then. Otherwise, like, lots of mixed opinion will be there. Okay, tomorrow I'll see you at 9 then. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
you can just be here after your dinner, I hope. Because
Yes, ma'am.
there's a 15 minutes difference between your time and my time. If you come at 8, like, our time is 8:15. No, my 8 and yours is 8:15, something like that. 15 minutes gap. Okay. So if you have any question, you can always ask question by raising hand. And I do not want to keep you for a long time, because since you're in school and maybe you're tired. So I'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock, if that's okay with you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. Then
Yes, ma'am. And if
thank
you have any
you.
questions, write your questions and we can
Thank you,
discuss.
ma'am.
Okay, thank you everyone, and good night.
Good night to you too.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you,
Bye.
ma'am.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night.
So on
Good night.
behalf of International Association of Quality Education, I would like to thank Ma'am Sachita Swal from Nepal for talking to us so long and advising us on the STEM education. So I ask all the teachers to stay back, not to leave the session, because Janaka sir is waiting to talk to us. So please don't leave the session. I would like to invite the president of International Association of Quality Education, Mr. Janaka Kamalgoda, to speak a few words on this session.
Ma'am, can I leave then?
Yeah, Sachita ma'am, thank you very much. I think,
Thank you,
yeah,
thank you,
very
Janaka.
much. Okay, Sachita ma'am. Then I'll speak few words with our teachers. Thank ma'am. I then see you tomorrow. හරි දැන් මන්ට ඕනේ පොඩ්ඩක් ඔයගොල්ලෝ එක කතා කරන්න මම කතා කරන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලා මට කියන්න ඕනේ මේ අපි මේක දේශනාවලව කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක කවුරුවත් කියන්න එපා යනට යම්කිසි පාඩුවක් වේවි ඒක නිසා ඉන්න. ඒතර මට ඕනේ ඔයගලන්ට කාරණා කීපයක් කතා කරන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලා අපි හැමදාම ලෙක්චර් එකක් ඉවරුනාම ඒකේ බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා ගෲප් ඇසෙස්මන්ට් එකක් කරන්න. ඒතර ගෲප් ඇසෙස්මන්ට් එක කරනවා කියන්නේ දැන් මම ඕගොල්ලන්ව ගෲප්ස් 5කට හෝ 6කට කඩනවා. මේ ගෲප්ස් වලට කැඩුවට පස්සේ ඕගොල්ලන්ට මම විනාඩි 5ක් 10ක් අතර ප්‍රමාණයක් දෙනවා. මේ අද කරපු එක සමරයිස් කරන්න. අද කරපු එක සම්පූර්ණ සමරයිස් කරන්න විනාඩි 7ක් දෙනවා සමරයිස් කරන්න. අපේ මේ බස්නා පළාතේ මුල්ලමාවියේ නිලධාරී මහත්මයා කීප දෙනෙකුත් ඉන්නවා. ඒගොල්ලෝ අධීක්ෂණය කරයි. එතකොට මොකද්ද ඔයගොල්ලෝ කරන්න ඕනේ? ඒ විනාඩි 5 හෝ 10 ඇතුළත මේ අද කරපු එක සම්පූර්ණ සාරාංශ කරලා ඒ කණ්ඩායමේ එක්කෙනෙක් හෝ දෙන්නෙක් හෝ උපරිම 3 දෙනෙක් විනාඩි 6ක විතර වෙලාවක් අරගෙන ඒ කරපු එකේ සාරාංශයක් පැහැදිලි කරන්න. ඒතකොට ඒ ගෲප් එකට යම්කිසි ලකුණක් වැටේ. හැම ලෙක්චර් එකක් වුණාට පස්සෙම අපි ඔයගොල්ලන්ව ගෲප් කරනවා. ඒ ගෲප් කරාට පස්සේ කරපු කතා කරපු අද දවසේ කතා කරපු එක සේරම සාරාංශ කරලා ඒක ඉදිරිපත් කිරීමක් කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒක සිංහලෙන් කරන්න. ඒකට ඒ ගෲප් එකට ලකුණක් හම්බෙයි. එතකොට දැන් මේක අපි මේ සෙෂන්ස් ටිකට සහභාගී වුණා කියලාවත් කන්ෆරන්ස් එකට ගියා කියලාවත් අපි කාටවත් මාස්ටර් ටීචර් සර්ටිෆිකේට් එකක් දෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න මුලින්ම අපි මේ කන්ෆරන්ස් එකට සල්ලි ගෙවුවා කියලාවත් කන්ෆරන්ස් එකට ආව කියලාවත් මේ එකකින්වත් අපි මාස්ටර් ටීචර් සර්ටිෆිකේට් එකක් දෙන්නේ නැහැ STEM এডুকেෂන් සම්බන්ධව. මේක මම මුලින්ම කිව්වා මේක හරියට කෝස් එකක් වගේ. ඒතකොට අපි මේක දේශනමාලාවක් යනවා. දේශනමාලාවට අනිවාර්යෙන් සහභාගී වෙන්න ඕනේ 80ක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. ඊළඟට මේකේ ඇගේම් ක්‍රියාවලියක් සිද්ධ වෙනවා. ඒ ඇගේම් ක්‍රියාවලියේදී ඕගලන්ගේ සාධන මට්ටම තියෙන්න ඕනේ. ඔය දෙකම කෙරෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒතර ඇගේම් ක්‍රියාවලිය කොහොමද කෙරෙන්නේ කියන එක මම ඊට පස්සේ විස්තර කරන්නම්. දැන් මම ඔයගලන්ව ගෲප්ස් වලට කඩනවා. ඒ ගෲප්ස් වලදී ඔයගලන්ට එන ගෲප්ස් වල සමාජිකයන්ගේ නම් ටික ඔයගොල්ලෝ ගන්න. ඒක අපිත් ගන්නවා මෙහෙන්. ඊට පස්සේ දෙන විනාඩි 6 තුල අද කරපු ටික සම්පූර්ණ සිංහලෙන් සාරාංශ කරන්න. කට්ටිය කරලා ඒ කණ්ඩායමේ එක්කෙනෙක් හෝ දෙන්නෙක් ඒ සාරාංශය ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න. ඒතකොට ඒ ගෲප් එකට මේ ලකුණ හම්බ වෙනවා. හරිනේ. ඒතකොට එක්මනින් ලිව් වෙලා යන ඇයට ඒ ලකුණු ටික හම්බෙන්නේ නැති වෙයි. හරිනේ. එතකොට අපි දෙන මාස්ටර් එකේ සර්ටිෆිකේට් එකේ ශ්‍රේණිය මොකද්ද හැමදාම තියෙන්නේ ඒක මත. එතකොට ඒක ඇගීම කරන්න මම මැදිහත් වෙන්නේ. ඒකට මුල්ලමා නිලධාරී මාත්මීන්ට මම ආරාධනා කරනවා ඒකේ ඉදිරිපත් කරන එකේ ගෲප් එකේ ලකුණු දෙන්න කියලා. මම වෙලාව යන නිසා ඉක්මනට ගෲප් කරන්න. මම කීප එක පැහැදිලිද නැත්නම් ආයෙත්
Excuse me.
පුළුවන් නම් රිපීට් කරනවද මේ මට කනෙක්ෂන් ප්‍රොබ්ලම්
අපි මුලින්ම මම කිව්වා මේ අපේ කන්ෆරන්ස් එකත් එක්ක ඔව් මම කිව්වා මේ කන්ෆරන්ස් එකත් එක්ක අපි ඕගොල්ලන්ව ස්ට්‍රීම් এডুকেෂන් සම්බන්ධව මාස්ටර් ටීචර් කෙනෙක් විදිහට ට්‍රේන් කරනවා. ට්‍රේන් කරලා ඒකට වටින සහතිකයක් දෙනවා. ඒක එතකොට නිකන් කන්ෆරන්ස් එකට සහභාගී වුණා කියලා ඒ සහතිකය හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ. මේ දේශනමාලාවට සම්බන්ධ වුණා කියලා හරියන්නේ නැහැ. ඒතකොට ඒක කෝස් එකක් වගේ. එතකොට එකක් තමයි 80%ක් දේශනාවලට සම්බන්ධ වෙනවා කියන එක එක මූලික අවශ්‍යතාවයක්. දෙවෙනි එක තමයි ඒකේ අවශ්‍ය ඇගේම් ක්‍රියාවලිය සම්පූර්ණ කරගන්නවා. ඒතර ඇගේම් වල එක ඇගේමක් තමයි අපි දෙන්නේ හැම දවසෙම දේශනෙන් පස්සේ ගෲප් ඇසෙස්මන්ට් එකක් දෙනවා ඒක කරන්න. ඒක කරාට පස්සේ ඒකෙන් අපි යම්කිසි ලකුණක් ගන්නවා. ඒ ගෲප් එකට මේ ලකුණ හම්බ වෙන. ඒ නිසා ඒ ලකුණ ගෲප් එකට වටිනවා. හරිනේ. දැන් ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ NQ5 ගත්තත් NQ5 හදනකොට මමත් මැදිහත් වෙනවා. ඒකේ අපි ගොඩක් දීලා දෙනවා group works. එතකොට දැන් මම ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ groups වලට කැඩුවට පස්සේ group එකේ ඉන්න පිරිස 6 දෙනා හෝ 7 දෙනා අද දවසේ කරේ මොකද්ද කියන එක ගැන කතා කරන්න. ඒක සාරාංශ කරන්න. සිංහල භාෂාවෙන්. හරිනේ? හරි ටැමිල් වලින් හරි. හරිනේ? සාරාංශ කරලා ඒ සාරාංශය 7 දෙනාම නෙවෙයි එක්කෙනෙක් හෝ දෙන්නෙක් ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න. විනාඩි උපරිම 4ක් ඇතුළත. හෝ 5ක් ඇතුළත. හරිද? පැහැදිලි මම කියපේ. ඒතර ඒකට ඒ ගෲප් එකට ලකුණක් හම්බ වෙනවා. එතකොට කවුද ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න කියන ඒවා ඔයගොල්ලෝ කතා කරගන්න. මම දැන් ගෲප් එකට කඩනවා. කරලා විනාඩි 6ක් හෝ 7ක් ඇතුළත දෙනවා ඔයගොල්ලන්ට.
So excuse me.
ඔව්.
ඒක සිංහලෙන් හරි ටැමිල් වලින් හරි කරන්නේ නැතුව ඉංග්‍රීසි වලින් කරා කියලා ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියනවාද? මොකද සමහර වෙලාවට මේ වචනවල තේරුම් අපිට සිංහලෙන් කියන්න ටිකක් අමාරු වෙන හින්දා මොකද ලෙක්චර් එක යන්නෙත් ඉංග්‍රීසි වලින් හින්දා එහෙම
ඔව් එහෙනම් ඒ දැන් දෙන්නෙක් කරන එක්කෙනෙක් ඉංග්‍රීසි වලින් කරන එක්කෙනෙක් සිංහලෙන් කරන්න.
හරි ඕකේ හරි thank you
Mr. Kamalgoda?
සර් මේකේ නැහැ. මේ මං හිතන්නේ සර් group separate කරනවා වෙන්නේ නැති.
නෑ තව ටීචර්ස්ලා ටිකක් ඉන්නවා ඒකයි මම බැලුවේ. හරි it's okay.
තාම join වෙනවා එකයි. එක එක්කෙනා තාම අපේ group එකේ join වෙනවානේ.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, can you tell us at least what is going on?
හරි මම groups ටිකම බලලා ආවා groups ටිකම හොඳට මාන්සලා කරා. හරි දැන් group 1 එක ඉක්මනට අපි කරමු නැත්නම් වෙලා යනවා. group 1 එක එතන මුල් ළමාවේ ඔෆිසර්ස්ලා ඉන්නවා මම ඒගොල්ලන්ට කියනවා කරන එක බලන්න අපි වෙනම ලකුණු දාගමු කියලා. හරි. කවුද කරන්නේ කවුද ලකුණු දාන්න කියන මේ මුල් ළමයි නිලධාරියන් මම අඳුරලා දෙන්නේ නැත්නම් ඒක එතකොට බයස් වෙනවනේ. ඒක නිසා ඒගොල්ලෝ නිහඬ වෙද්දී ඒක වැඩේ කරයි. හරි group 1
sir මෙච්චර වෙලා අපිට connection එක තිබ්බේ නෑ මොනවාද වුණා?
දැන්
Struck
අපි
වෙලා ඉන්නේ.
නෑ දැන් ඒක group එකකටද?
ඔව් අපි ගොඩක් දෙනෙක් එහෙම වුණා.
ඔව් සර්.
මම groups වලින් ගොඩකට ගිහින් බැලුවා. නෝ ඒක ඒගොල්ලන් හොඳට සාකච්ඡා කරා. හරි group 1 බැලුවම group 2 කරන්න.
group 1 2 කියලා කොහොමද සර් බලාගන්නේ?
මම දාන්න ගියේ sir. How do you know what is our group number?
ඒ ඔයගොල්ලන්
So room number is our group number. Room 6 is ours.
yeah room number එක. ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඔය ඉස්සෙල්ලා කරලා නැද්ද ඒක? ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ room එක මොකද්ද? ඔයගොල්ලෝ හිටපු room එක.
ඒක බැලුවේ නෑ සර්.
ඔව් සර් මොකුත් තේරුණෙත් නෑ.
Sir, අපි හිටියේ room number 3 එකේ.
room number එකේ 3 එකේ කට්ටිය කරන්න එක්කනේ. මට print එක එනවා මට බලාගන්න පුළුවන් කවුද හිටපු
room number 3 එකෙන්
හා
එයා හිටියේ අර මමයි කවුද? දුල්ෂානි මිස් හිටියා.
මම මේ නස්මා 2 එකේ හිටියා. මේ හැබැයි සමහර එනවා යනවා ඇඩ් වෙවි ගියා.
දැන් ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ වෙලාව වෙනවා මං කියන දේ අහන්න.
room number
room number 3 එකේ
සෞම්‍ය කොයි group
දැන් ඔයගොල්ලන් හිටපු එකේ එක්කෙනෙක් කතා කරලා කරන්නකෝ කරපු එක දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ එක්කෙනෙක් කතා වුණා නා මං කරන්නම් කියලා එහෙම මං දැක්කනේ සමහර groups වල ඒක නිසා එයා කරන්නේ එයාගේ නම කියන්නේ මං ඒතර ඒ group එකට පනිතය හොයාගන්නවා.
හරි.
group 3 එකේ අවුරුත් කතා කරෙත් නෑ සර්.
කරපු groups ටික කියන්නකෝ.
හරි. room number
පොඩ්ඩක් මං කියන්නේ අහන්න. මං කියන දේ අහන්න. room මං පොඩ්ඩක් එන්නකෝ කතා නොකර කට්ටියම. room number 1 ලෑස්තිද කරන්න? නෑ. room number 2 room number 3
MSF
That's a problem.
හරි එහෙනම් room numbers දන්නේ නැත්නම් හරි කැමති කට්ටියක ඉස්සලා කරන්න.
Sir, මම room number 4. මම පටන් ගන්නද ඉංග්‍රීසි එකෙන්?
මට වගේ නම කියලා පටන් ගන්න.
Sir අපේ room number 6. room number 6 එකෙන් මම පටන් ගන්න sir.
room number 6 එකේ මට වගේ නම කියලා පටන් ගන්න. මට
මම ෆාතිමා රුසේකා සුබ සන්ධ්‍යාවක් සියලු දෙනාටම අපි room number 6 එකේ 5 දෙනෙක් හිටියා. දැන් අපි වැඩි විස්තර අපිට මම විනාඩි 2ක් කතා කරනවා සිංහලෙන්. අපි ඊළඟ විනාඩි 2 ඉංග්‍රීසි එකෙන් අනිත් එක්කන කතා කරાવી. මොකද්ද මේ STEAM අධ්‍යාපනය කියලා. STEAM මම කෙටියෙන් පැහැදිලි කරන්නම්. වැඩි විස්තර අපි ඉස්සරහ වැඩසටහන වල දැනගන්න පුළුවන්. STEAM අධ්‍යාපනයේදී first time අපි කතා කරේ STEM කියන දේ. STEM කියන්නේ විද්‍යාව, තාක්ෂණය, ඉංජිනේරු සහ ගණිතය කියන කොටස් හතර. ඒ හතරට කලාව කියන එකතු වෙලා තමයි STEAM අධ්‍යාපනය හැදෙන්නේ. නමුත් ප්‍රථම වශයෙන්ම STEM අධ්‍යාපනයේ තියෙන වැදගත්කම ඒ කියන්නේ ඒක අපි ඒකාබද්ධ කරන්න ඕනේ. එකිනෙකට ඒකාබද්ධ කරලා ඒ කියන්නේ තනියම විද්‍යාව නැතුව, තනියම තාක්ෂණය නැතුව විද්‍යාවට තාක්ෂණය එකතු කරලා, ඒ වුණාම තාක්ෂණයට ඉංජිනේරුව එකතු කරලා, ඒ වගේම මෙතනදී අපිට ප්‍රධානම අරමුණ ඇවිල්ලා මේක ප්‍රාථමික අධ්‍යාපනයේ සහ සෙකන්ඩරි අධ්‍යාපනයේ කියන එකට මේක කොහොමද අපි ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්නේ මේක ක්‍රියාත්මක කරනකොට අපිට වැදගත්ම දේ දරුවෙක්ට අපි කියන සිතන්න පුළුවන් හැකිය. දැන් මට හිතන්න පුළුවන් ඔයගලන්ට හිතන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් අපිට තීරණයක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. ප්‍රශ්නයක් ක්ෂණිකව විසඳන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඒකට කාලයක් ප්‍රමාණයක් අරගෙන විසඳන්න පුළුවන් ක්‍රමයක්. ඒ වගේ බුද්ධිමත් දරුවෙක් දෙන්න කිරීම තමයි ඊටම වැදගත්. දැන් ඉංග්‍රීසි එකෙන් කියනවා නම් ක්‍රිටිකල් තින්කර්ස්. ඒ කියන්නේ ඉන්ටෙලෙක්චුවල් තින්කර්ස් කියලා කියන්නේ ඒ බුද්ධිමය වශයෙන් ඒ දරුවා ක්ෂණික තීරණ වගේම ඒ අසුදුසු තැනට තීරණයක් ගන්න පුළුවන්කමක් වෙන්න ඕනේ. දැන් මෙතනදී STEM අධ්‍යාපන දෙකලන් කියනවා ඇමරිකාවේදී 2005 දී තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ මේ කියන්නේ rising above the gathering storm. ඒ කියන්නේ මොන කුණාටුවක් ආවත් අපි මේ තුනේ නැගිටින්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් ඒ තුනේ උදාහරණයක් වශයෙන් එයාකෝ COVID-19 වැක්සින් එක අපි තාමත් කෙටි කාලෙකින් වැක්සිනයක් හොයා ගන්නවා. මීට කාලෙකින් වලදී වැක්සින් වලට ඒ තරම් කෙටි කාලෙකින් හොයාගන්න බැරි වුණා. නමුත් අපිට ඒක ගොඩක් දුරට ඒක සාර්ථක කරගන්න පුළුවන් වුණේ මෙන්න මේ තාක්ෂණීය විද්‍යාව, ඉංජිනේරු ගණිත කියන මේ සියලු දේවල් ඒකාබද්ධ වෙලා අපි කියන්නේ ඉන්ටග්‍රේටඩ් කියලා කියන්නේ ඒකාබද්ධ වෙලා කරන්න පුළුවන් කමක් නිසා. ඒ වගේම STEM අධ්‍යාපනයේදී කොටස් 7කට වෙන් කරා. මම ඉතා කෙටියෙන් කියන්න. learn and apply කියලා කියන්නේ ඒකාබද්ධ. මේ සියල්ල එකිනෙකට ඒකාබද්ධ කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒ වගේම learn මේක ඉගෙන ගන්නවා වගේම මේක ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න ඕනේ. මේක අපි ඉගෙන ගත්තා මේක දැනගත්තා කියන එක නතර කරන්න බෑ. මේක අපි number 1 learn and apply ඉගෙන ගන්න ඒක ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න. දෙවෙනි එක ඒකාබද්ධ කරන්න. තුන්වෙනි එක කියනවා ඉන්ටර්ප්‍රෙටේෂන් කියලා කියන්නේ අර්ථකථනයක් කරලා කමියුනිකේට් කරන්න ඕනේ. එකිනාට එකිනා. දැන් අපි පෙර පාසලක් ගත්තොත් දෙමාපියෝ දරුවෝ ගුරුවරයා අතර එකිනෙක සම්බන්ධතාවයක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ දරුවෙක් ගොඩනගන්න. ඒ වගේම අපේ පාඩම් මාලාවෙත් ගණිත සංකල්ප අපි කියව නම්බර්ස් වගේ ගවත් එකිනෙකට අන්‍යෝන්‍ය සම්බන්ධයක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒ වගේම ඒක අපි ඉන්ක්වයර් කරනවා. ඒක ප්‍රශ්න කරනවා. රයිට්. මේක අපි සාමාන්‍ය පෙර පාසලේ ඉඳන් තක්සේරු මට්ටමක් වෙනවා. මේක ඉන්ක්වයර් කරනවා. මේක නිවැරදිද? මේක මේ දරුවට සුදුසුද? මේ වයස් කාණ්ඩයට සුදුසුද? ඒ වගේම ලොජිකල් තාර්කික වෙන්නත් ඕනේ. දැන් තාර්කික නොවන දෙයක් අපිට කරන්න බෑ. ඒක තාර්කික වෙන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට තමයි ඒගොල්ලන්ට තේරෙන්නේ. ඒතර ඕනම දෙයක ලොජිකල් එකක් තියෙනවානේ. තර්කානුකූලව අපි ඒක කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒ වගේම කොලැබරේට් අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම කණ්ඩායමක් ඇටියට මේක ක්‍රියාත්මක කරනවා නම් අපිට මේ ස්ටීම් අධ්‍යාපනයේ ඒ කොටස් 7 නිවැරදිව කරගෙන යන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේ මේකේ වැදගත්කම එයා ගණගෙන දරුවගේ මානසිකත්වය එතකොට ඊට පස්සේ ඒ දරුවාට ක්‍රියාකාරකම් වලින් තුලින් අවධානයට එයා කතා කරා නිර්මාණ කලාව කියන දේ එකතු කරන්න ඕනේ. මොකද අපි පාලමක් හදනකොට අපි නිර්මාණශීලී වෙන්න ඕනේ. දැන් ගුරුවරයෙක් කියලා කියන්නේ නිර්මාණශීලී. එතකොට දරුවවත් නිර්මාණශීලී දරුවෙක් කරන්න නම් මේ STEM මේ සයන්ස් ඒ ටික අමතරව අපි කලාව එකතු කරා නම් ඒක සෞන්දර්යාත්මකයි, ඒකේ ලස්සනයි. ඒ පිළිබඳ අපිට තව විශේෂ දේවල්. මොකද ඒ කියනවා වගේ hina වෙන එකත් ලස්සනයි. අපි කතා කරන එකත් ලස්සනයි. අපිට තරහ යන එකත් අපිට ලස්සනට අපි බැලුවොත් ඒක හැමදේම සුන්දරයි. ඒ සුන්දර විදිහට අපිට බලන්න පුළුවන් නම් මේ අධ්‍යාපනයේ වැදගත්කම අපිට පැහැදිලිවම පේනවා. මම හිතන්නේ වැඩි වෙලාවක් ගන්නෙ නැහැ. ඊළඟ විනාඩි 2ක මම ශ්වේතට ලබා දෙනවා. බොහොම ස්තුතියි.
පාතිමා හොඳ ලස්සනටම කරා.
බොහොම ස්තුතියි සර්.
ඒ ගෲප් එකේ අනිත් එක නා ඉක්මනට කරන්න. ඒ ගෲප් එකේ කට්ටියම කැමරා ඔන් කරගත්තත් කමක් නැහැ. ඒතර අපි දන්නවනේ ගෲප් එකේ කවුද කියලා. පාතිමා කියන්නේ ඉක්මනට කරන්න කියලා.
Oh,
Shweta,
so,
I want you to do that in English.
so I'm Shweta also here, so I just want to explain in very short in English. So what she's taught about first, STEM is divided into 7 categories, where Ruseka explained in each detail. So it could be the 7 categories would be learn, how to integrate, how to inquire, how to engage, how to implement logical reasoning, how to do collaboration, and how to apply that. And then we were taught about the importance of STEM. So importance of STEM means when we are doing this, using this STEM technique with the children, definitely our output, the product will be children with critical thinking and problem solving. So these are some of the characteristics which we are looking as for the 21st century skills. Then the STEM move on to another introduction of A, which include STEAM, and which was the A stand for the arts. So arts showed the importance in the sense that arts included in this approach, and we have to do this approach in a integration. Like everything has to be integrated. Like, you know, this when we talk about the STEAM, it's science, technology, then we have engineering, arts, and so all these should be integrated when we are teaching a child. Then when we talk about the aesthetic part, so aesthetic part, what Sachita ma'am told us, is not always the drawing and coloring. It's always like, you know, a gesture, like even a good smile, or even a social manners you're teaching, or grace and courtesy. That also could be some, you know, a form of a aesthetic education. Thank you.
හරි ඊළඟ next group එක මට ඔයගොල්ලෝ අඳුර ගන්න ඕන නිසා මම එක එක group
We are from group 7. Can we start?
Yeah, camera මම කට්ටියගේ ඒ group එකේ කට්ටියම කැමරා on කරාම ෆොටෝ එකක් ගහ ගන්නවා. ඒ නිසා group එකේ ඉන්න හැමෝම කැමරා on කරන්න.
Sir, excuse me sir, අපිට group එකක් නැහැනේ.
ගෲප් එක නෙවෙයි දැන් ඔයගලන්ට රූම් එක මතක නැතුණාට ඒතර කතා කරන එක්කෙනාගේ නම කියන්නකෝ. එතන මට පුළුවන් යාගෙන් කට්ටිය දැනගන්න. මට වෙනම ඇටෙන්ඩන්ස් එකෙන් ගන්නත් පුළුවන්.
Even in group 7.
No,
Room 7, so
I
group
can
7.
take your names. I can take your names from the attendance sheet, but it is better all the room members should switch on the camera also. You start quickly.
Sir, excuse me, sir. How can we find our rooms?
No, that from the tomorrow you can see the room. No, today this is the first time. No, next time you check your room. You can see the room.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
But for today, I'll mark the rooms. I can get the separate attendance. Start quickly.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Anjali, and in our group, there was Anjali Savisa, Shazara, and Ramani. All together, we discussed and summarized. I will be doing in English, and Ramani will do the Sinhala part. So today we learned about what STEM means, and then how it turned into STEM. So STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. So we spoke about what are the benefits of STEM. It develops critical thinking in a child, not only in a child, even when we are using it even in us, and also reasoning, and also how you collaborate and do teamwork. These are the main benefits of STEM. And also STEM programs are there to boost innovation, and also it helps to create high-tech labor, which is quite needed for this world, the current world. And also we spoke about the 7 standards of STEM. By gaining skills and knowledge in STEM, we can integrate, then we can interpret, and also we can communicate, and we can inquire and engage, and also we can logically reason out things, and also by collaboration we can do teamwork, and also applying technology appropriately. So we will learn to do all these things when we implement STEM. And why STEM is important? I mean, because it's important to know why STEM is important, so that we know the reason behind what we are doing. So critical thinking, and also to be career ready and develop a career ready future, and also the ability to collaborate across, integrate several academic fields. So without taking math separately, science separately, technology separately, we integrate everything together. So in whatever the activity or whatever we do in a classroom, we highlight what are these different aspects that we are seeing in it. And also STEM encourages learning by doing, not by observing. By observing, you can't implement STEM. You need to be hands-on with it. And also, students learn real-world scenarios by implementing STEM. And then we moved on as to how STEM became STEAM. How STEM became STEAM is by adding art into it. So why STEAM is art brings a cinematic aspect to it, which is quite prominent these days, widely used these days. So it will really stimulate the kids to really get the ideas into their head. So why STEM for kids is because to stimulate their curiosity, and also to integrate the arts aspect into whatever we do. It should be project-based learning, and also this helps to develop inclusive learning. What is inclusive learning? Where you get everyone together, not only the kids who can catch up, but whoever who can't even catch up. We ensure that everyone is together when we are doing something. And also areas of STEAM is included as well. So art means creating something that is out of ordinary. For example, how you greet is also a way of art. You can greet in a very creative way where kids feel like coming into your class. How you say good morning or how you welcome them into your class. These things can make a big difference. And also how you behave in the classroom and how you have arranged the classroom and how you are conducting the day. the routine, the daily routine can be a very creative thing where kids doesn't even feel like the time is passing. So, and also art makes the classroom time very enjoyable, and that's what matters, because when kids enjoy something, they learn well. So, thank you. I would like to ask Ramani to summarize in Sinhala.
මුලින්ම අපි STEAM අධ්‍යාපනය කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියන එක අපි සඳහන් කළා. ඒකෙදි විද්‍යාව, තාක්ෂණය, ඉංජිනේරු, ගණිතය එකට එකතු වෙලා ඒකට කලාව කියන විෂයත් සම්බන්ධ කරලා ඒක තවදුරටත් ළමයාට ගැළපෙන විදිහට රසවත් වෙන විදිහට යොදලා තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඒ STEAM කියන්නේ ධාරාවන් elementary සහ ප්‍රාථමික සහ ද්විතීක elementary and secondary විෂයන් අතර කොහොමද අපි ඒක ඒ අධ්‍යාපනය ලබා දෙන්නේ කියන එක ගැනත් අපි සඳහන් කළා වගේම එතකොට මේ හොඳ විදියට හිතලා දරුවෙකුට වැඩක් කරන්නේ කොහොමද මේ STEAM අධ්‍යාපනය තුලින් Hello. කියන්නේ මේ අධ්‍යාපනය තුලින් STEAM අධ්‍යාපනය තුලින් කොහොමද අපි මේ හොඳ දරුවෙකු රටට ඉදිරි අනාගතයට ගැලපෙන ආකාරයට නිර්මාණය කරන්නේ කියන එකත් එක්ක මේ නව ඒ දරුවට අපි කතා කළා ඊට පස්සේ main objects කියන්නේ කරුණු හතක් ගැන කතා කළා. ඒ කරුණු හත තුලින් ඒ කියන්නේ ප්‍රශ්න කොහොමද විසඳාගන්නේ කොහොමද එතකොට මේ යමක් කරද්දි ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් එකක් වගේ දෙයක් කරද්දි කොහොමද අපි අදහස්ව මාරු කරගන්නේ ඒක කොහොමද තරකානුකූලව හිතලා ඒක අපි කොහොමද ඒ යොදන්නේ සහ සහයෝගීතාවයෙන් වැඩ කරලා කොහොමද අපි මේක අපි කොහොමද ඒක යොදන්නේ ඇප්ලයි කරනවා කියලා කියන්නේ අපිට ගැළපෙන ආකාරයට අපි ඒක යොදාගෙන වැඩ කරන ආකාරය සහ එතකොට මේ අධ්‍යාපනය තුළින් දරුවෙකුට අපි රට ඉදිරි අනාගතයට කොහොමද අපි දරුවව නිර්මාණය කරන්නේ ඒ කියන්නේ අපි පාසල් අධ්‍යාපනය තුළදී දරුවට මේ විෂයන් අපි ලබා දෙන්නේ කොහොමද ඉතා රසවත් විදිහට දරුවට ගැළපෙන විදිහට දරුවගේ මානසික මට්ටමට ගැළපෙන ආකාරයට කොහොමද අපි මේක යොදවන්නේ බොහොම කලාත්මකව පාසලේ දරුවට අපි ගුරුවරයා කොහොමද ගැළපෙන විදිහ එතකොට ගුරුවරයාගේ හැසිරීමයි එතකොට ගුරුවරයා හරි ප්‍රායෝගිකව ඒ දරුවට ඉෆෙක්ට් වෙන විදිහට ගැළපෙන විදිහට හිත කාවදින විදිහට දරුවට මේක නිර්මාණාත්මකව ඒ අධ්‍යාපනය ලබා දෙන්න ඕනේ කියන එකත් එක්කම කොහොමද ඉදිරියේදී මේ ප්‍රශ්න විසඳගන්නේ ඒ කියන්නේ හොඳට හිතලා බොහොම යහපත් විදිහට හිතලා අනාගතයේදී මුහුණ දෙන්නට තියෙන වූ ප්‍රශ්න වලදී කොහොමද මේ අධ්‍යාපන ක්‍රමය ළමයා භාවිතා කළ යුත්තේ කියන දේත් අපිට විතරින් ලබා දෙන්න පුළුවන්කම තියෙනවා සහ අනාගතයේදී ඒ කියන්නේ මෙතන කියන්නේ මේ අධ්‍යාපනය කරලා කියන්නේ භාවිතයෙන් තමයි හැමතිස්සෙම අපි දරුවට දෙන්න ඕනේ by doing කියන්නේ එහෙම දෙන්න අවශ්‍යයි කියන දේ තමයි මෙතනින් අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ සහ දරුවට ලබා දෙන්න ඕනේ කියන දේ තමයි කියුනේ
හරි මිස් බොහොම ස්තුතියි හරි මිස් හරි රමණ මිස්ගේ දුවත් ඉන්නව නේද උදව්වට ළඟ නේද රමණ මිස් හොඳයි
ඔව් සර් මේ පොඩ්ඩක් ඒක වැටෙන්න ගිහිල්ලා ෆෝන් එක අහවට හදලා දුන්නා
හරි හොඳයි දුවට ගිහම අපි අම්මා නෝකල මාස දෙකක් අපේ වැඩවලට හරි ඊළඟ ගෲප් එක ඊළඟට
group number 4
හරි කරමු මම අර වෙලාව යන නිසා වෙලාව ඉවරනම නවත්තනවා ඒක අමනාප වෙන්න එපා හරි කරන්න ඉක්මනට
I don't have a group.
Sir,
Can I talk?
Sir, MFF
Sir, I
formula
have
මොන group ද කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්ද?
මට කීප දෙනෙක් කරන්න පැහැදිලි නෑ එක room එක කට්ටියක් කියන්නකෝ. එක
Sir,
room
I have raised my hand. I'm Miss Hafsha.
STEM education integrates science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. It encourages creativity, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills, preparing students for real-world challenges by blending these subjects. Fosters of
Sir,
කැමරාව ඔන් කරන්න පුළුවන් අය කතා කරන්න නැත්නම් අපිට තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ පැහැදිලි නැහැ. හරි. ඉක්මනට කරන්න.
sir, I'm from room number 4.
Okay. Room number 4.
Yeah, I had 4 members. I had 4 members in my group along with me.
Okay.
This is actually a summary of what we learned today. Our first lesson was to learn about STEM and how it became STEAM. So STEM is the abbreviation STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, which was an innovation to create skilled and critical thinking students. So this ultimately, after a research under the UK, they had something lacking. So they wanted to know what it was, and they initially found out that it was arts. So they added an A there. So if I have to explain what STEM is and how it works, STEM was basically introduced for elementary and secondary school students. Even for university students, it was getting closer to them. It was always a reasoning method where children had practice. The hands-on practice made them even better thinker. They had thinking skills and they were critical thinkers and problem solvers. So they actually collaborated at least 2 of the elements of the STEM, where they could even use science and mathematics or engineering and mathematics. They actually found out ways. There was an example given to us how we can manage our waste, disposal waste. So they managed to crush down those plastic bottles and build roads. So in that manner, we got to know how we can use mathematics and engineering together. How many bottles were needed to, build that road. So these were some examples given by the madam who was explaining it to us. So then what happened was we were taught the 7 standards of practical skills under the STEM. Learn and apply, integrate, interpret and communicate, communicate and inquire, then collaborate whatever you have learned and apply it with the technology that is appropriate to use. So that is the 7 skills that we were taught there. And then we were asked a question. We were raised a question. Why is it important? Why do we need critical thinkers? So it was that we will have more skilled labor where they will be able to think critically and where they will be able to solve things quickly. So that was the reasons they should be able to solve problems in a very efficient and quick manner. So those were 2 skills very important in the 21st century kids. So that was why the A was introduced under STEAM, where arts played a major role and had a drastic change with the A infused in it, which created innovation. Because although you had science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, without innovation, without creativity, without arts, it would be looking blank. So that was one reason where the UK did a research and they wanted to introduce arts into it to get better thinking, critical thinkers and problem solvers. So I think that was one thing Madam told us. And we were, there was a candidate who asked the question, why is it important? So I think that was one thing Madam told us. And we were, there was a candidate who asked the question, why is it important? So I think that was one thing Madam told us. And we were, there was a candidate who asked the question, why is it important? So I think that was one thing Madam told us. And we were, there was a candidate who asked the question, why is it important? So I think that was one thing Madam told us. And we were, there was a candidate who asked the question, why is it important? So I think that was one thing Madam told us. And we were, there was a candidate who asked the question, why is it important? So I think that was one thing Madam told us. And we were, there was a candidate who asked the question, why is it important? So I think that was one thing Madam told us. And we were, there was a candidate who asked the question, why is it important? So I think that was one thing Madam told us. And we were, there was a candidate who asked the question, why is it important? So I think that was one thing Madam told us. And we were, there was a candidate who asked the question, why is it important? So I think there are a specific age group that we can limit the students? She said, no, there needs no age. We can introduce it at a very small age, but we should be able to have designed something that the age can play a role, because small kids like 1.5 or 2 thinking power that high, but we can innovate curriculums and projects. So I'm sorry, I think my mic was switched off.
හරි thank you. thank you. මොකද වෙලාව ඔයාගේ පැහැදිලි කිරීම හොඳයි. නමුත් වෙලාව මට කන්ට්‍රෝල් කරගන්න ඕන නිසා නැවැත්තුවේ. වාසුමිති මිස් සිංහලෙන් කරනවද? ඔයගොල්ලන් කවුද සිංහලෙන් කරන්නේ?
Miss Priya,
හරි.
who was in room number 4, Miss Priya. Can you say that in Sinhala?
අද ප්‍රියංවදද? විනීතා වාසු
Miss Vinita.
කවුද ප්‍රියංවදද වාසු?
මම ප්‍රියංවද.
ප්‍රියංවද ඉක්මනට කරන්නේ
මම ප්‍රියංවදා කැලණියේ. දරුවන්ගේ ගුණාත්මක අධ්‍යාපනයක් දරුවන්ට ගුණාත්මක අධ්‍යාපන ලැබීමට අධ්‍යාපන ක්‍රම හඳුන්වන එක කාලවලදී 2005 දී STEM අධ්‍යාපන ක්‍රමය හඳුන්වා දෙනවා. විද්‍යාව, තාක්ෂණය, ඉංජිනේරිං තාක්ෂණය සහ ගණිතය කියන සංකල්ප ටික ගොඩනගලා එතන ප්‍රායෝගිකව මේ දේවල් දරුවන් ලබා දෙනවා. නමුත් අපේ දරුවා සාමාන්‍ය මිනිසෙකුට හදවතට දැනෙන්න ඕනේ. මුලට දැනෙන්න අපි දන්නවා අපේ මොළය කොටස් දෙකකට බෙදලා තියෙනවා. කලාවකට එක පැත්තක්, අනිත් එක ගණිතය හා විද්‍යාව කියන ඒ විතර මොළය බෙදලා තියෙනවා. මේ කලාව කියන එක එකතු වුණාම තමයි ඒ දෙකම සම්මිශ්‍ර වුණාම හරියට මිනිස්සේ ගොඩනගන කියලා අපි ඉගෙනගෙන තියෙනවා. ඉතින් මෙතනදී වෙන්නේ ස්ට්‍රීම් ක්‍රමය හඳුන්වා දෙනවා. එතන දරුවන්ට සාමාන්‍ය පන්ති කාමරයේදී පොත්පත් පින්නලා දුන්නාම හඳුනා ගන්න බෑ. ඒගොල්ලන්ට ප්‍රායෝගිකව දෙන්නේ. ඉතින් දරුවෝ ඉන්නවා ඒගොල්ලන්ට මියුසික් නැත්නම් ඩාන්සින් අපි මියුසික් තෙරපි දෙනවා තෙරපි ඒ විදිහට දීලා තමයි අපිට දරුවන්ව හරිගස්ස ගන්න වෙන්නේ. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ අත්මය උරා ගන්න වෙන්නේ. ඉතින් මේ ස්ටීම් අධ්‍යාපන ක්‍රමයේදී සිද්ධ කරන්නේ ඒක. දැන් උදාහරණයක් විදිහට විද්‍යාව සහ කලාව. දැන් අපි විද්‍යාවේදී ශාකයක කොටස් හඳුන්වා දෙනවා නම් ඒක කොහොමද හඳුන්වා දෙන්නේ? ඒක කලාවත් එක්ක සම්බන්ධ කරන්නේ කොහොමද? අපිට පුළුවන් එළියට ගෙනහිල්ලා දරුවන්ගේ පරිසරය එන්වයරන්මන්ට් එකේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් කවි ගායනා කළා. එතකොට පළතුරු එළවලු ඒ සම්බන්ධයෙන් කියනවනම් එතකොට ඒක කවි ගායනා වලින් කියන సౌందර්යය ඒකට හඳුන්වා දීලා ඒක මික්ස් කරලා නැත්නම් ආර්ට් තෙරපි එකක් විදිහට ඒක දීලා ළමයාගේ මොළයට හරියාකාරව මේක දෙන්න අපි సౌందර්යය කියන එක අත්‍යවශ්‍යම දෙන්න ඕනේ අධ්‍යාපන මේ රටාවේ. මේ ස්ට්‍රීම් අධ්‍යාපන ක්‍රමය ඇත්තම සාර්ථකයි කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්.
හරි ප්‍රියංවදා. හරි ප්‍රියංවදා හරි බොහොම ස්තුතියි. මම වෙලාව ඉතුරු කරගන්න ටක් ගාලා නවත්තන්නේ. හරි ඊළඟ group එක
MFF කවුමියාගේ group එකට කියන්න පුළුවන්ද සර්?
පැහැදිලි නෑ.
සර් MFF කවුමියා
ඔව්
ඒ මොන group ද කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්ද සර්? අපේ group එකේ හිටියේ නස්රීන්
පොඩ ඉතින් දන්න groups ටික කරන්නකෝ මම අන්තිමට කියන්නම්.
Group number 3, sir.
Hari. If someone want to do only in English, then they can do only in English because I got a message that they prepared only for in English. Okay. Because
STEM education integrates science, technology.
Camera on kala karana group pe kattiya. Group pe katte camera on kala karana.
So STEM education integrates science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, emphasizing interdisciplinary learning. It encourages creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving skills, preparing students for real-world challenges. There are 7 categories STEM education, that is interdisciplinary learning, problem solving, and critical thinking, project. That means based learning, inquiry, based teaching, creativity and innovation. Students create a learning STEM education often shifts focus from the teacher. That the teacher tropically plays a central role in this education, STEM education. Thank you, sir.
හරි ඒතර ඔයගොල්ලන් ආයේ group එකේ හිටියේ දෙන්නද?
දැන් නැස දෙන්නෙක් කතා කරා මට කවුරුත් නම එච්චර මේ පැහැදිලි නෑ දෙන්නට තාම මුකුත් හරියට දැනගන්න විදිහක් නෑ කිව්වා.
හරි.
නෑ තුන් දෙනෙක් හිටියා සර්.
හරි මම මේ ෆොටෝ එක ගහන ඉන්න කට්ටියට විතරයි group එකේ ලකුණට එන්නේ. හරි. ඊළඟ කට්ටිය කවුද?
Can I go with? But I don't have any. I don't know which room I am.
Sir, I am Paumia. Actually, I didn't know the room number. So I'm the one who told that I will be giving this thing explanation.
Yeah, you do.
Paumia, අපේ group එක number 5. Room number 5.
Shall we start?
Camera. The others who are in that group can switch on the camera.
Group 5. Nazreen? Okay. Shall I start, sir?
ඉක්මනට කරන්න.
History of first madam spoke about history of STEM. It started in USA. In USA only they are continuing it, she said. Then again she spoke about the standards of STEM and STEAM education. She said first what is STEM? Now, what is STEM means science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Then again, when we go to STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. After that, she started to explain about the standards, critical thinking. Number 1, critical thinking, problem solving, communicating, engaging, should be able to inquire, reasoning logically, collaborate as team, apply the technology appropriately. Then there she explained us about the kitchen gardening and stuff. Then again, she spoke to us about the importance of STEM. That includes critical thinking, ready with career, ability of thinking, inclusive learning environment. In inclusive learning environment, she spoke to us we have to improve the children, those who are not clever. That means not only the children who are clever, she told us to take this says that the children, those who are backwards too, should be involved in this. Then after that, integrating language. Then she spoke to us about learning by doing, then handful of work. After that, innovation. At last, she spoke to us about the art. Art means, she said, not only drawing, color, using the colors, not only that, she said by giving a smile, it makes a child happy. She spoke to us, she said, like appreciating. She spoke to us and she said, if a teacher tells, if a teacher appreciate, and if the teacher give a compliment like your dress is beautiful, so that makes the child happy. So she spoke to us all these things. Thank you, sir.
කවුරුත් සිංහලෙන් කරනවද? Is there anyone to do in Sinhala or otherwise I will invite to the other groups. Hari, thank you. තව කවුද කරපු නැති groups?
Sir, I don't have a group. Can I go with?
Yeah, you switch on your camera, then others will join who are in your group.
Excuse me, sir. Yeah.
So,
this is today we were with madam about this STEM. About STEM, it is STEM. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Actually, when we go with STEM, we don't have to go individually, but she said we can collaborate and go. And also she said it is like it is for it will be applying for elementary and secondary, but now they are researching to go until university. And there are 7 criteria in criteria for STEM. The first one is learn and apply. It is what we are learning, we have to apply with children with practically. And the second one is learning, that how the child should learn. Then third one is interpreting and communication, that like how we act and communicate. It goes with the third category. Then engage and inquiry. In engage and inquiry, like we can go, we can engage in many activities, and children can inquire about it. So that there goes the critical thinking, where the children gain more knowledge of what they are learning. So their creativity, like their art develops. So what the STEM gives only these 4 like science, technology, engineering, mathematics. With that, they included art, because art is very important to go with these 4, because art gives the like 100% critical thinking, imagination, like it will bring out child's ability. Child will get to imagine lot of things while going with these arts. Arts doesn't mean only coloring and drawing. It has many. So what madam was explaining about kitchen garden also kind of art. So, and this is we go with rising about gathering storm. That is introduced in USA on year 2005. So when we go to STEAM, actually it gives us boost and innovation. That means you get to the level and innovate. Innovate means you find many things and you put it into the field. And likewise only STEM became STEAM by adding this art. And in 7 categories, I stopped in engage and inquiry. The fifth one is logical reasoning. So only studying and going doing the practical will not work. We have to put for the children, like, in logical reason why this is happening. So it gives more thinking power, that goes to, it get attached to more into art stream. And also collaborate, teamwork, it's very important. And apply approved technology. So these are the 7 categories which madam said in STEM. After that only they have included art, and it became STEAM education. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Is there anyone to do in Sinhala, or shall we go to the other group?
No, we don't know our groups, so we don't know who are there in our room.
Okay. Then is there any group, any room? Yeah, okay.
We didn't talk, sir. Benefica and Fazmia, I could remember. Are you all there?
Then they can.
I will just do it in a very short way, sir. First, she discussed about the STEM and STEAM. So first she said the STEM was introduced, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Then she spoke the importance of that. The importance is that critical thinking and reasoning was developed through STEM education. Then she said, she mentioned that the adults or the teachers who are working with the children have to be very innovative and creative, which is very essential for this 2000 century. Then after that, she was explaining and giving more example for that. Then she spoke about the 7 standards of STEAM education, that is learning and applying, integration, communication, reasoning, logical thinking, and the teamwork. Then she said they felt that something was missing, and after that A was introduced, that is art. And then she was talking a lot about importance of arts, and then again she talked about a lot of importance of technology, that is the aquaculture, things like that. It was innovative. For example, she said that everybody was using the soil for the plantation, So the new innovation was without the soil, they were using water. So that was the innovation part, she said. And then she spoke a lot about the what do you call, how to integrate all the integration of all, like 2 or 3 field together, like science and technology or science and art, how we can develop integrating all that. Thank you. So only thing, I don't think we had anybody to do in Sinhala.
It is
Yeah,
okay.
Raiha, can you explain in Tamil?
That's good. If someone can
Yeah, ma'am. Yes, sir. Tamil, in Tamil, there is a teacher who is there.
Okay, that's
Raiha,
good. That's good. That is
are
better
you there?
because there was nobody in Tamil.
Right.
See,
I
anybody
think
can
she
tell
has
in
gone.
Tamil.
Okay. Anyway, until she come, I'll carry on. Actually, I don't want to give further details because everyone know now what is STEM education, and there are so many things that we learn, and now we are familiar with that topic. And also, I'll give only a few short explanation about. She was telling why is STEM important. So the STEM approach to education fosters creativity and divergent thinking alongside fundamental disciplines. So that comes under discipline, how the child behave, and even the everything like integrated, and also along with the activity what they do. Okay, then it motivates and inspires young people to generate new technologies and ideas. With a focus on practice and innovation, students get to learn from inquiry-based assignments. So actually, there are for every introduction, every lesson, we should be familiar with the small assignments. So when we teach for preschool students, actually the assessments are very important. What we learn, what we teach for them, and we have to get back. So what we put input, there should be output. So in that lesson, so in that lesson, that is the assessment that we can do for preschool students rather than the primary students. So I don't want to give more explanation. I know actually I'm very happy. Everyone are clear with this STEM education, and this is a new addition for us and for everyone, I think. And
okay.
Raiha, you are there? Raiha?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. She is ready to tell in Tamil.
Yeah, that's
Maybe.
good. It's good. Go, yeah. Yeah. They come soon.
Raiha?
Raiha, எங்க இருக்கிறீங்க?
Yeah, I think she is, her line is some.
Can you join quickly because otherwise others will blame to me.
Yeah, is there anyone?
And then then we can give the chance to at the end.
Benfica, you do.
No, we can go to that young girl at the last. If she is ready.
Right, okay.
Okay, because she is very young. Then we want to give the chance to her. Yeah. Then you inform to her to get ready. Yeah. Then the next group, next one, next group, next room.
Benfica.
සේරම කරාද අනිත් තව කවුරුත් කරපු room එකක් ඉන්නවද?
I can't do it in Tamil, so I'm.
No, it's okay. You do in English. English or saying.
Anyway, she has done it, right? The same thing what we had spoken about the STEM, and also we are already there. She was explaining about the 7. I was ready to explain about the 7 rising, gathering, and the 7 standard of the skills. So I think joy of learning. I don't know your name. You have explained it clearly. So it's about why it's so important about it. The learning. What are the 7 main things are there? It's learning and applying and integrate and interpret and communicate the information, engage and inquire, and reasoning out logically and collaborate as a team and apply the technology appropriately. All these things are matter when we are even when we are doing a lesson plan. When we are in the classroom environment, when we are doing a lesson plan, even we need these. We have to apply it on it. How to collaborate and communicate and all these matters when we are planning out when lesson plan. So those are the areas I just wanted to inform, and also the importance of the STEM. Why is STEM is important? Just it helps the thinking pattern. Like it's just not a direct way we think. It helps our thinking pattern. So we being as a critical thinker, and for our careers it helps us, and also when solving issues, solving problems, it helps us a lot. So that is the more important. When we as a teachers, when we as a preschool teachers, when we are in the classroom environment, we can use this for our learning abilities and to teach our children, small children, for our future. Thank you.